Hey guys, what's going on? The last video I made was when Steph was over in the UK and we put together our summary of our last 12 months and all the ups and downs we've been through. I was hoping to carry on making a video every month, but unfortunately I've been that busy with things I'm going to go into now. So this is actually 13 and a half months sober, which obviously is fantastic. Um, so what's happened in the last month and a half since we last spoke? Oh my word, so much has happened. I'm not going to go into all the detail of it because it'd be unfair, but I'll sort of go over the surface of what I've been doing and then I'll move on to other things. So unfortunately, I've split with my partner of 26 years, which has been really horrible, heartbreaking, horrendous, all the words you can think of. As I say, I'm not going to go into any detail about it, but it was something that needed to happen on both sides. I fully believe that. Unfortunately, we've just sort of grown apart, and I think looking back, my journey of alcoholism and then into sobriety and made me end up a completely different person, which for me personally is a really good thing. But obviously for a relationship, that's quite a bad thing. So yeah, about a month and a half ago, we made a decision that we would break up, and obviously I've got my son, our son, and yeah, it was horrendous. It was really difficult, and to be honest, you know, I'm really glad I had 12 months sobriety under my belt because there's been times where it's been really tough, and I think had it only been 6 months sobriety under my belt, I would have struggled. So yeah, massive life changes. It's all part of my self-improvement journey, which is ongoing. So yeah, that splitting opened lots of little cans of worms that I had to deal with. So obviously I had to leave the family home. I had to make sure financially and stuff were in place, and that my ex-partner and my son were okay, or as okay as you can be. And on top of that, it got quite messy and a little bit toxic, and you know, like, as breakups do. And then I had to go find somewhere to live because I did not, you know, this wasn't planned. So God, I slept in a couple of bed and breakfasts, a hostel for a night, my friend's camper van for a couple of nights. Really bizarre. Had all the stress of trying to find somewhere to live. Really horrendous. Now, obviously, completely self-inflicted. I understand that, but nevertheless, to deal with it, wow. So here we are, a month and a half, basically since that decision was made, and I've been living on my own now for, I think, around about 4.5 weeks. So I'm quite settled where I am now. I've got a nice little house. It's warm and dry, and I'm learning to live on my own, which is, you know, it's a whole massive new chapter in my life, because if I'm honest, since I was born, my mum and dad wiped my ass, and then in this relationship I had my ass wiped as well with all the house duties and things. So it's been quite a challenge, if I'm honest, to sort of become house proud and realise that if things just don't get done in this house unless I do them. But I'm really chuffed with the progress I'm making with it. It's in such a short time, it's been good. So that's pretty much where we're at. Celebrated 12 months sober, and then the last month and a half has just been about this new part of my life, and sort of building for my future and that, and it's tough. And I know a lot of people who'll be watching this will have gone through it or will be going through it. And, you know, I can't really give you any advice because you are on your own. You know, you can surround yourselves with friends and family and what have you, but you've got to come to terms with it, and it's really difficult. It's very difficult. There were some slight cracks appearing with me at certain times, with just things that, you know, you just wonder, have you done the right thing? And looking into the future, thinking, can you really get by? And, you know, all of a sudden that 12 months of sobriety, you know, you start questioning it. And it's like, although a year is such a long time, you know, there's nothing more stressful and challenging than doing this kind of change in your life, especially at age 44. You know, you're supposed to be settled at that age. But anyway, we're all getting through it, which is the main thing. Yeah, I don't know what else to say on it. It's been a challenge. I think that's the best word that sums it up. And despite, as I said, you got friends and family and things like that, you are completely on your own with it. And that's quite a hard thing that I had to battle with, you know, that, yeah, there is support out there and what have you, but you've got to live with yourself and you've got to live with the choices you've made. And it can be quite lonely at times. It's not so bad now, but a couple of weeks ago, you know, it was quite lonely, and as I say, the cracks were appearing. When I say cracks, I don't mean that I was going to have a drink or anything, but it was just the anxiety and, you know, panic and just being scared, and that's a horrible feeling, is being scared and the not knowing. But as we have to do, we put one foot in front of another and we keep moving forward. And that's what I did. And very slowly you start to come out of it. Now, obviously, nowhere near it. As we've had such a long relationship, there's lots of loose ends that we have to put right financially and things like that. So there's still a lot to do, but, you know, we'll work through it bit by bit. Obviously, there's the wrench of my son, you know, seeing someone every day to seeing someone every 3-4 days. You know, that's a really difficult thing as well, and it lays heavy on your heart. Again, in the very early days, really difficult, but with time, it does start to get a little bit easier. So that's all I'm really going to say on that. It is what it is, and we're all dealing with it the best way we can. But for me personally now on my journey, you know, it just shows you how far I've come and how strong I am, which is awesome. I'm sort of really chuffed with myself that I can really do the most challenging life things now and get through it. So it's fantastic. Just a quick thing on the weight loss. Going well. As you know, I started when on 17th October, I was weighing in at 19 stone 9. I'm now down to about 14 stone 6.5. And I've kind of plateaued a little bit on that weight. Been there for like 3 or 4 weeks, not losing and not putting any on, which is okay. It gives my body and skin time to catch up a little bit. But I think the main reason I wanted to, well, what I really want to talk about in this video is where I'm at right now, with me internally, my emotions and things like that, because I've stalled a little bit recently. Now I know what I've been dealing with is really overwhelming, so I get that. I'm not having a brain fart. I'm not in a slump. I feel great. But I have lost my spark. And what I mean by my spark is my motivation, for a better word. You know, the exercising and not so good eating's come back a little bit, and you try not to beat yourself up about it because of where you're at in your life. But I don't mind doing that for a couple of days, but it's quite difficult. So what works for me generally, is I like watching a lot of motivational stuff. I like watching documentaries on motivational people and people overcoming adversity. You know, there's nothing greater for me to watch than that. I can really feed off and take motivation and maybe a bit of ambition and things like that from it. So I've been sort of submersing myself in that kind of stuff. But it's not really working at the moment. As I say, I feel really good, but I would just like to get on top of me again, and just get that spark lit again. So, you know, I can have more purpose within my day, in my days. Because I have found myself wasting a lot of time during the day, not really doing what I should be doing. So I'm just wondering if anyone out there, you know, there's this channel's picking up a bit of pace now, which is awesome, and there's quite a few comments coming in and questions and things like that. So I just wonder anyone watching this who's in a similar position. Oh, you don't have to be in a similar position, to be honest. I mean, we all know when we're in a great place and we're motivated and inspired, and you know, life's great, and we do what we're supposed to do. But when that dries up for you, what do you do? You know, I'd love to hear from you. If you can drop me a line under this video and let me know what works for you, because I'm doing a lot of research on this at the moment, and I understand how the motivation works, and motivation is a dangerous thing because you can't rely on it, because as most of us know, it's never really there when you need it, which is fine. But I'm just talking about using motivational videos, films, documentaries, things like that, even reading books, whatever, you know, but just using them to fire yourself up and keep that flame lit, as it were. As I say, I go back to what do you guys do when that flame goes out? Because it goes out for all of us. That's just life, isn't it? You know, we have flat days, flat weeks. But I'd say that's what I'm sort of researching and looking into now, is how, you know, you can't just keep watching. The thing with these inspiring motivational videos and things like, we'll just talk about videos for now, is when you're in a decent place and you're up for it, these things are awesome. But I think they can have a very negative effect on you when you're not in that place and you're watching someone who's really pumped up and you've got to do this, do that, and you know, yeah, I wish I could, but I can't. So, you know, what is it? What I'm missing that, and I want that tool in my toolbox. Now, I don't think there's any one thing out there that, you know, after 3 or 4 or 5 days of being completely flat, that you just could go, boom, I'll do this, and you're back. I don't think there's anything out there that does that, but I'd just be very interested to see what you guys do. Obviously, I think there is something out there to do it. Now, it's obviously doing the right things. We know this. That's a given for me. As I've said many times, I run on autopilot with the majority of things in my life now. And things just get taken care of upstairs without me having to worry about it. But this is a little bit different, and I wouldn't say I'm struggling, but it'd be nice, you know, to get someone else's point of view on it, and to see what kind of makes your boat float again, as it were. I find it really interesting. So it's only a short video today, just sort of keeping the video vlog going. 13 and a half months into it, which is absolutely awesome. As I say, going through massive life changes, but these needed to be done, and there's more to do in the future yet for myself, and this journey of self-improvement and trying to become the best person you can. So I kind of wrap it up now. I'd just like to say a big thank you to all the new subscribers and the comments and things that I've been getting, because there's been some really good stuff, and I now know that this channel is definitely helping people, which was the whole point of it, because there's nothing better than watching someone who's been through it, because it allows you to feed off it. And, you know, I would obviously try to be as honest as I can, warts and all, which we'll continue doing. As I say, I thought about sort of kicking the videos into touch at 12 months, but I don't think I'm gonna, because obviously we know we're not fixed at 12 months. So I think I'm gonna keep them going another year, just to see where I can take it. So I think I've talked enough. I hope everyone's well. And if you've got any questions on anything else, or you just want a bit of help, please drop us a line, message me, and I'll get back to you. And we're hopefully myself and Steph are going to put an interview video together very soon. Just chatting shit with each other as we do, and just sort of, discussing the roller coaster ride that we're on. Although it's not a roller coaster ride anymore, is it? At this stage, I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of people who I won't mention names because it's unfair, but I've got about 3 friends now who I met through sobriety who have all just crossed the 12-month mark, which is amazing. Really is amazing. So well done, you guys. And there's also been a couple of relapses from other people, which I didn't see coming. And one who had been sober a long time and in theory should have known better, but he's back on it. I don't know if they're back on it now because obviously they disappear into the woodwork when the relapse takes hold. But I'm rooting for that person and hoping he can get back to it. But it just shows you, you can be as confident in your own ability as you want, but you can never 100% let your guard down. So I think it's a lesson for us all there. So once again, thanks for watching. 13 and a half months into this journey and things are fantastic. Thanks again. Bye.